Hey everybody, so we have another BenQ. This was actually sent in to my day job. One of the customers, they bought a new lamp, put it in, didn't see any difference, or essentially they didn't see anything, didn't light. So they tried to figure it out themselves. We had a couple theories about things. This was a refurb unit from BenQ if I remember correctly, so we've seen those before. But anyway, I said just send it in. If you cover shipping back and forth, I'll take a look at it, and if it's nothing crazy, you cover shipping, we'll call it good. I want to return the favor and do him a solid on this. He really did a good job trying to get as far as he could, but you know, you get to a point where if you've never worked on something like this before, things that might apply to computers or other things that are maybe more common for people to work on may not apply here. Measuring voltages out of the ballast, you don't really want to do that. You sort of can, but I don't recommend it. There's other ways to verify the ballast besides potentially blowing your meter up during an ignition cycle. It looks like he lost the plastic for here, that little air shield thing. Not a bad idea. It might hold up, but I don't know what kind of plastic the normal covers use. This might get soft and drop inside and cause more problems. This is, I'm guessing this is PET, because it was used for food, and I'm pretty sure PET is food rated. Kind of feels like PET. I know like Dasani bottles, for instance, are made out of the PETG. And that stuff's got a 230-ish C melting temperature, or at least a plasticizing temperature. So I don't want to take a chance. We're actually better off without this than unknown plastic. But I appreciate his efforts, honestly. It was a good job. I might even have one from a scrap projector. I'll look around when we close it up. But more importantly, let's see what's going on here. And as usual, we can see this is fine guy. He's doing well. Everything is fine. So one thing I noticed when it first came in, I've actually looked at it a bit. The carrier, metal carrier was in, and the ground screw, I guess, got misplaced because there was a self-tapper in there. And again, good try. I wouldn't use a self-tapper though, because if you don't know how far it's going to stick through, there's a chance of hitting things you don't want to hit. So I took that out. I'm sure I have a screw. What I suspect was the issue was the ballast connector. It doesn't, I might actually even put some glue or something on this because it falls out really easy. And I think that may not have been in all the way, or was kind of making contact. The other thing I noticed, I'll zoom you guys in for this one. Pan you up a hair. Oh, nobody can see that. There we go. So the color wheel was plugged in this way. Connectors up. On this model, I am almost 100% sure you want plastic side up. Like this. So we'll plug that in. We're going to check a couple other things, and then we'll fire it up just kind of like this and make sure everything is where we want it. I'm going to unplug the face panel, just move that back a bit. And let's get this guy plugged back in. Pay attention to your color wheel connectors when you take them out. A lot of them will plug in upside down, and it will even try to run it, just not the right way. Then it goes over here, my nice terribly not smooth pan. Let's make sure that is in all the way. See, that kind of clicked that time. That feels a little better. Maybe it just needs a little, you got to get it just right. Let's see, we got that and that. Let me get a shim for the power plug, and we'll get going. Alright, I have a little shim thing in there holding the switch down. We got power. We have a standby LED. Pretty sure that color wheel's plugged in right. Let's see what happens. We have light. should have a picture momentarily. Very out of focus picture. There we go. Looking good. I don't even think this guy needs a new lamp, because if I remember correctly, I'm going to do menu. Oops, menu. Menu. Source and enter. Come on. Menu. There we go. See the boxes down there? Don't worry about all the bleed over. That's just light. See? So let's see here. Under 1, color wheel delay is set where it was. We'll leave that alone. Let's go to 2. 2 has all of our temperatures and fan stuff. They're all pretty dead on. You got 1600 roughly, 1500, and 27. The other one's running 26, 67. I like that. 3, yeah, it's all lamp color stuff. So you can see total runtime in minutes is 61,033. Lamp hours 2,078. Total lamp hours 2,080. So this thing, I mean, if the current lamp timer was right at 1,060 hours that I saw in the menu, then this lamp is fine. There's no reason to change it. And then we'll check the errors here. Color wheel error 12. Abnormal power down 26. So actually let's reset those. There we go. Left and right. And then let's get out of the menu and let's power it down, and then let's put it back together. Make sure everything's copacetic so I can get it shipped back to him. There really wasn't anything too wrong. Again, I'm pretty sure the issue was this not being seated all the way, or it was something that he fixed, didn't realize it, and then didn't get it back together right. So really it's here for me for a proper reassembly, and I just figured I'd share that with you guys. I know I haven't had any videos up lately, and frankly I just haven't been feeling it, and life has been life, and I'm sure y'all know how that can go. So, you know, everything's fine. It's just, you know, YouTube, life you got to do with that. So anyway, it's almost shut down. Let's switch to putting it back together. Okay, we are in standby. So let's take my little bypass tool out, drain the capacitors, plug it. Drain the capacitors, are already drained. Then we will disconnect these guys because there is no carrier underneath to hold all this. So we're just going to unplug everything to make this smoother. Oh, let's pop that out. And he did send the screws in a nice little container. There's the self-tapper I was talking about. Now unfortunately this opened up in the box, so when I opened up the box it was just screws everywhere. But that's okay. I think I found them all, and if not, I have some from scrap units we can use. So let's take that main board out. Just going to set that here for a moment. Just going to give this a general once over. There's our ballast. Tiny little thing. So I think what I'll do in this video, we'll just go over the pitfalls, the things to watch out for and not do. First one, if for some reason you take the blower fan out right here, the blower fan also has the thermal fuse, the bimetal thermal fuse or thermal breaker. It's not really a fuse, it resets in there. So if that gets too hot, it interrupts the connection and actually kills the mains and just shuts the unit down like you pulled the power on it. This is super easy to forget to plug back in if you've had this thing out for a cleaning. So let's pretend it's not clean. I'll take it out. I want to give it a once over anyway. It actually needs, yeah, a little bit. Pardon me. Just going to kind of give it a little. Do I smell end dust? Actually, I take that back. This thing's a little dirtier than I expected. I smell what I think is end dust. And we know how much I love end dust. Alright, I'm going to go and hit this with the vacuum. I'll be right back. There we go. I like that better. So, when you inevitably do the same thing that I just did and thought, wow, that needed cleaning, and you're like, alright, cool, I got it. You know, set it back in and make sure the wire goes in that middle slot and not just pinched underneath. It's going to go down like that. And then you're going to put your screws back in. Screw bit fell loose. So we're actually going to do a quick little ad. I just bought this a few weeks ago, a Vessel powered ball handled screwdriver. These are made in Japan. The little ball apparently is some kind of shock absorber. I've never used their brand before. I usually use YAB, you know, the black and red, but very impressed. Machining's really good. The plastic feels good. It's got tons of torque. It's got way more torque than I expected. But anyway, if you like Vessel or curious about some cool tools, check out Vessel, and there's the screwdriver and the info right here. There you go. So anyway, back to our program. So the first screw we're going to put in, there we go, and then again we're going to go back. There we go, until it hops. Then we'll feel it, and then we can send it back down. Do the same thing on the other side. Not feeling any hops. We're just going to go for it. Made some new threads. It's okay. Then we are not going to do what a lot of people do, including me. Get that out of the way. We are going to plug this back in. Don't forget that. Super easy to forget that. The other one you don't want to forget is to the left. For some reason you have this mains power supply out. You're going to unplug your door switch. Make sure that's plugged back in. If you have your ballast out, make sure when you put it back in, these pins line up and get plugged in right. That's almost 400 volts, so it's got to be where it needs to be. Don't forget that. Then we're good down here. Let's put the metal cover back on. So that's this carrier thing here. I don't know what the official name for it is. I just call it the mainboard carrier. Sounds official. So we're going to set that back down. We're going to make sure our low voltage pins come up through here. And then on the back, you want to make sure those forks go over the mains plug. Keep an eye on your wires. Make sure stuff doesn't get pinched underneath. Looks good. Alright, that's good. The ground wire, I'm going to go to the screw bin. We're going to find a ground screw. I think those are 5mm M5. So let me go grab the screw bin and then we'll find one for there. Alright, let's see. Okay, empty SMD thing. Cable strap. This is a maybe. Let's see if it fits. I'd like to find the right one. It has like the the washer on it. But this one, let's see. Okay, so we got the thread. So this one will work. Let's set that one right there because it's a maybe. But I want to see if I find one that has the star washer built into it. I think that's the original. It's kind of like that, but with a star washer. Oh, and of course, everybody has 45 ACP cartridges in their screw bin. Let's see. Oh. Too big. No. Let's use this one. We know it'll fit, and it's better than the self-tapper. So we'll use this one. So we'll just line that up. Get that lined up over the hole. There we go. Send it home. Now we got the ground screw in. Let's bring this back a little bit and get you guys lined up better. Nice. Okay, let's line that up. That goes there. We'll put this screw in, and then the ones that go down into the chassis. So this screw, let's see if it's in here. The short, should have a few short ones. Yeah, we do. Okay, good. So these three short machine screws, 2 of them are for the main board, for here and here, and 1 goes there. So let's put the main board ones off to the side. And then we'll line this one up. Nice, that's down. And then, pardon me, let's get the color wheel ready. The color wheel's gonna be held out of the way inside that. Then this will come out and plug in. So I like that. Alright, that's good. Now we'll do the screws that hold that frame down. And they're going to be helical thread like that. And those are, I don't know, 5 millimeters long or so. Now I'm using metric because these are built where metric is used. In the US, we mostly use SAE or Imperial or whatever you want to call it. I know it. I don't particularly care for it. I prefer metric myself. But that's why I refer to millimeters in this stuff, because that's how it's built. Then let's go over here to this hole. Now the only drag I'm finding with the screwdriver is that it's very magnetic, which is making the screw grab the metal before I can get it to line up with the hole. But just got it. Beautiful. Okay, and then one more right here. That one was a little stripped. Now these I'm doing by hand instead of using the powered option because I don't want to strip it out. That one's good. Alright, and then this, I'm pretty sure that snaps in here. It's all back out of the way. Okay, I think we can set the main board, or do we have to do the speaker? The speaker was removed. And I doubt he uses it, but is that? No. No, that goes here. Okay. Making sure I didn't have it upside down or something. It's just, let's see. Yeah, we can put the speaker in afterwards. So let's get the main board lined up. Again, the low voltage pins need to line up perfectly. Those guys in there have to line up straight. As long as they're lined up, everything else will line up. Your DMD connector, everything. It'll just line up beautifully if you get those lined up. All your screw holes will line up. It'll make the whole job easier. It's hard to hold it and get it lined up without it bending on me. Alright, that's all out of the way. Color wheel index sensor. Good. This fan, what do you call that, ballast fan, system fan. Exhaust fan. When it was sent in to be refurbed, I bet they changed this fan because this wire's never been dressed, and that also makes me think that's why the ballast connector fell out. They probably had it kind of in. Yeah, see, that time it clicked in nice too. So that's in, that's in. Pardon me. That's a speaker, I think. 2-pin, yeah. So then on this side, we have, let's get this wire. Come on, what are you doing down there? Come on. The blower fan wire got lost on us a little. So that's for the lamp blower fan. This is the DMD fan. Oh, I guess it helps if I plug it in right side up, huh? It's like, you know, it feels like it's stopping a little early. There we go. Alright, that's in. This is for the front IR. We'll get to that. But this is good. Oh, we have a missing screw. Why is that out? Where is it? Don't see it. Let's go to our screw bin. Pretty sure that's a BenQ screw. It's helical at least. No. Is that stripped? Let's try a long one. Oh, maybe. It wants a pointier screw. Let's just see how this feels. Nah, that's just stripped or cracked. Nothing's going down in there. We're gonna leave that alone. There's one here, there's one there, and once it's all together, it won't care. It'll be fine. You don't want to over fix things. Sometimes you can fix it so much it'll be broken again. Alright, now let's get some screws back in. So we want to get the main board screws in now. Let's get the two I was talking about for the main board up top. Get those in. Again, these are short. You may have Well, you probably will. You should also have some that you took out that are longer. See? So these go here and there. The longer ones are going to go in the other 4 holes. You'll see what I mean. But just be aware of that. Watch the whole video before you start taking your stuff apart. I kind of thought that went without saying, but I've come to learn that that's not always what people do. Alright, so that one goes in snug. Alright, and then I'm going to put the metal plate on. Make sure that these pieces wrap around the board. This, you just kind of, I set it on the back first and then just kind of wrap it around and make sure those pieces just, you know, go over. Then I get the longer screws. You can run these down pretty far with a power driver, but when you get to the end, don't let it go all the way. Do like the last turn or two by hand. Because if you don't, and it comes down tight on the metal, it'll twist it. Watch, I'll do it on this side. Oh, let me get lined up first. Well, of course it didn't do it, but it can twist that tab. It's probably more likely to do it over here. It'll just kind of, you don't want to do that. Not that it'll break, but it could short something out. Not worth the chance, you know. Now we can put the speaker in. Let's drop that guy in. Once the speaker is in, you line up the rubber shock absorber thingies. Now this one only came with 1 speaker screw. I looked all over, could not find the other one. I don't know if I have one of these, but I also don't know if it really matters. I think it'll be fine. Speaker goes through here and then plugs in over there. There we go. Make sure IR sensor's in place, speaker's down. I'm going to do just a quick check in case I have something we can use. Too big. Oh. Way too big. Too wide. Maybe. Too tall. We only need about to there, so let's do. These are all old projectors in here. I don't know if it's up yet, but I did a big old tear down on a Sanyo dual lamp that I got a lot of good parts out of. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here that makes me think it's worth trying. Oh, but of course, when I'm not looking for it, I find the ground screw I was looking for. This is what I was looking for the ground. It's got that star washer built into it, but that's all right. All right, that's in. That's in. We're going to put the back on, and then let's put those fasteners on the back. The reason I'm doing this now is I want to see what we're missing, what I need to find. Oops. Let's get that started. I know they're not Phillips, but just a little bit of friction is all you need to get them to turn. See? Then we'll snug them down with the actual nut driver. 5mm, just so y'all know, 5mm nut driver. Okay, then the screws on the back. These can be tricky. It looks like we're missing at least one. So the HDMIs use, oh, here we are, machine screws, smooth threads, not pointy threads. I only see one. All the rest are large threads. Now, one is a lamp. I don't know what these black ones are for. These are not. I don't think these are for this projector. I think you may have misplaced some more screws, but that's, again, no problem. That's why it's here. Let's go back to the screw bin. That's one of the reasons I wanted to look. I need to find some screws for here, some helical ones, and a machine thread for here, and it looks like the case screws too, which I should have in this bin. So let me go look through those and then I'll be back. Alright, I found some. So this one goes here. Then I got one next to it. The only problem is this one is not a pan or a recessed. So I'm going to keep looking. Then over here I did find a tapered machine thread. So let's put that in. Now it is black. Got black and silver, but I don't think the guy's going to care. So let's see if I can find another tapered helical thread. Or I may just leave it with the one. Let's see if he wants me to keep looking or not. Or maybe he has it even. Let's see here. What do we got there? Nope. Oh well. But I did find enough for underneath. So for now, we're going to leave that one alone. Yeah, because we're going to need screws for the front, for this part. There's going to be 1, 2 here, then there's some on the top, and those are these other kind of flat, you know, tapered. So we're going to need those. Back is on though, except for that one. I'm going to keep my eyes open, and again, we may just put one in there, but I'm going to hold off unless, hoping I can find the right one. And this is going to go on. Or actually, let's do the top first. Oh. What, do we have a blue painter's tape? Do we have a new builder who didn't build something right? Is that why there's blue painter's tape? If you know what I'm talking about, you know. Alright, well, we can't use painter's tape to repair that. Once that gets warm, it will burn. So let's get the tape off and see how damaged that is. It's not going to do it. Let's get the tape off and let's see if we can use some shrink tubing and form that back together. Okay, we're going to use this one back here as to measure our height. So here's a fresh piece of the shrink tubing, the kind with the glue inside. We're just going to go right to the top. snip it. Actually, I want a little extra, because once I pull this off, I'm going to cut it straight. So I like a little bit extra. I guess if you used like a razor blade, you could probably cut it flush. But I'm just going to go right to that. Pinch it a little. Yeah, that'll be good. Alright, let's go back to the spot in question. There's something sticky on there, some kind of glue. Work that down. Come on. And then we'll shove in the broken part. There we are. And then just need to heat it up. It's gonna heat it up and that'll be good. So yeah, I like that. No, I don't have my heat gun set up at the moment. Let me go do that real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, so that shrunk down. You really can't even tell. It looks exactly the same to me. But it did squish a little bit of glue into the hole, so that'll help with the threads. So this goes back on top. However, I almost was a dummy and forgot to run this wire. Now you could put the front on now, but I've found after working on a few of these or a handful of these that if you put the front on first, it kind of snaps on easier instead of having to, put the top on first instead of the front, because you can snap the front on instead of trying to like angle this in. Almost forgot the buttons. Need the buttons. Don't force it. It should just kind of line up where you need it. Give it a little squeeze. It should go around. See? As long as you didn't mangle it too hard, prying it apart, it should just snap right back together. Good as gold. That's good. The bottom screws do not affect the front, so let's get some bottom screws in place. Now, this one side was broken. Yeah, we'll figure it out. There was a broken side. Blocking the camera again. Now I do have two screw bits. Let's see, will that? Yeah, none of those are too deep, so I don't need the huge one. This won't fit down in there, so I'm gonna put that back. This keeps falling, or not this one, this Torx one keeps falling out. So is there anything I can turn it maybe now? You know what? I'm gonna I'll just have to deal with it falling out. It's fine. I like that. Let's get some of these screws. Yeah, see, I'm not feeling... Maybe that was the broken one. There was one that was like broken. There was no way it was going to work. Might have been that one. Let's see. Maybe it was this one? Feeling for the threads, but I'm just not feeling them. So I had to cut new threads for that one, but that's okay. I'm going to do it by hand. Yep, good. Then let's go to the front right. Nice. Like it. Back right. Nice. And then let's try the one that we just fixed. And let's watch it from this side, just so we don't see that explode. Wow, that just tightened right down. I love it. Alright, so it was just this one that had the issue, and once we put the front on, it won't matter because that kind of pinches it all. So we get the front, and then we'll plug in IR sensor. Let's get it back looped in. That piece pops through here. Set it up on its back and just kind of, because it clips along there. And we have one screw that goes here, which is missing, of course, but that's okay, as I have one here we can use. It's a helical thread. Alright, I like that. And then we have this one for here. Oh, and I think I have a solution to one of our missing screws on the back that I was thinking about, and I'll show you guys in a moment. And then that one. That one's in. Those are, man, they're clipped. Those are all in. I like that. So, revisiting the back. So these take helical screws, like I put in. You know, it's got that coarse thread to it. Well, I now have two of those left, and they match. Two silver ones, so let's go one here. There we go. Oh, a little more. I like to try to put all the screws in the same position if I can. Totally unnecessary, but that little extra detail is nice for me. So the only one that's different now is over here. That one black screw versus the silver screw, but that doesn't matter. Gonna work just fine. So then I think we just have the upper cover. Yep. And that has its screws still, so that's good. Let's put the lamp in the upper cover and we'll try it out. Now if you need a lamp for one of these, go ahead and check the description, of course. I have a coupon code down there. Go hit up Pure Land. They'll take good care of you. You know, there's a reason I like them, and someday I'll tell you why. But it doesn't really matter. The stuff's good, so go buy it. And use that coupon code. Save some money. Put his old lamp back in. This lamp is from 2018, but again, if it only had the 1,060 hours I saw on the menu the first time, no reason to replace it. Now this is missing. There's supposed to be a plastic piece here that I think that screw used to go in, but I don't know where it is, and that's okay. We don't really need it. Oh, got a little more painter's tape. Cracked ceiling truss? No. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't worry about it. Or go look up Cy, the building inspector. Anyway, back to this. Okay. So that No, that should be fine. What's keeping it from going down? Me? Am I being lazy? See, it's got these clips to grab. I can't tell if the screw I put in is in the way, but I don't think so. It doesn't feel like it. It just feels like... Ah, there we go. There we go. I had to get that in. Now these lamp screws, the lamp door screws, do not need to be tight. In fact, I would strongly stress against making them tight. Just get them in there. They just go in that way and they keep the door from falling off. That's all they do. Now let's get some power and see how this thing's going. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, we have fans. We have so far a decent looking picture. We'll go and we'll check those lamp hours again just to make sure it still says 1060. I'm not used to the simple menu, even though it's kind of better. Yep, 1060. We're not going to replace the lamp. The lamp's fine. In fact, I'm just going to go set this up in the test area, and I'm still initializing, and then we'll run it. You know, I'll put some hours on it, make sure we're good, and send it on back to the fellow. Still initiating. Alright, well, I'll pick up with you guys once I have it set up for testing. And there we go. It's been running for about 20 minutes now. It's got a nice picture up on the screen there. Pardon the upside down image. I didn't want to change his settings any more than I needed to, and obviously I can work with it inverted. Some of it's a little bit off the screen behind it, as you can see there, but that's okay. That's just the position of everything. But this is running great. I'm going to let this go for about another hour, and then I'll pack it up and send it back to him. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, how it turned out, and I'm sure he is too. So if you happen to need a lamp for one of these, any BenQ or any projector for that matter, go ahead and check the link in the description. I'll have a coupon code down there, as well as a direct link to the replacement lamp for this particular model, the HT2050a. Fits in a few others. If you're not sure, click on the link, scroll down to where it says also works in. Shows you the other models you can use that particular lamp for. But if you got this far in my video, I really appreciate it. Think about hitting that subscribe button. Videos come out when they come out. Sometimes they come out at a bunch, sometimes they come out real slow. If I ever give up on YouTube, I'll let you guys know, but until you hear that, just figure life got in the way. But if you're happy with the video or didn't bore you totally to tears, hit the like button, leave a comment, dance in a circle if you feel like it. But most importantly, as always, thank you for watching.